We're here with FCC Commissioner Deborah Tate. She just gave a very good presentation about kind of the state of where things are with the FCC, but we also heard an interesting presentation from someone talking about the Starbucks success, and one of the key messages he left was, what happens if you went away? And this was in the context of a business going away, and it made me think, well, what about the telcos? If they went away, it would leave a big hole in the market, especially for customers wanting broadband and so forth. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that you're exactly right, and I think it is important for all rural telcos to tell the story about what they have done. And in many places across America, I talked about the fact that there are 100 million broadband lines now. In many places, it's because of the rural telcos, and that they were actually out there getting broadband to rural Americans and how important that is. And so I think it's probably a good idea for them to tell that story, to make sure that people realize that but for them, not only would they not have had a wireline telephone, in some of these very, very small rural country areas, but they would have probably not had broadband. So I think it's a great story, and I think you need to remind yourself. I had the thought, well, would anybody care if the FCC went away? And I'm not sure anybody would, but I think we're here for a while.
Well, and clearly you are. And one of the things one of the other messages was that Washington isn't going to solve all the problems, that working with local and state is important.
Absolutely. One, I had just spoken with the gentleman from Home Telephone in South Carolina, and Keith was telling me about their collection of broadband. And so, it's not a one-size cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all, trying to find out where broadband is. And in fact, I want to talk with many of these members to try to get them to provide their information to the FCC website. We are revamping right now the 706 Advanced Services website as we re-energize that board. And so one of the hopes of mine is that it will also serve as a clearinghouse. So say, for instance, a small town wants to hear about how another small town got Wi-Fi or broadband or whatever. I'd love for us to serve as a clearinghouse so people could just go on and find out how, another small town similar to them maybe rolled out a service. So.
And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, one of the things that we try to do with the VOD View is kind of tell those stories of the heartland, and a lot of times people just don't know what's going on. And so one of the things that I'm looking for in the audience here are, the kind of the green initiatives you talked about. And the telcos are doing some interesting things in that way.
Absolutely. I think it's something that we all obviously, need to do our part, but we also need to encourage all businesses to get more involved in that. And then the other point that I made was how important helping us get the word out about the digital transition that will occur next February. And so I hope you all will help us do that as well.
Well, and they have been. I'm sure they will some more. So thank you
So
very
nice
much,
to
Commissioner.
see you. Absolutely.